Good afternoon, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. There, got shut. I'm late a couple of minutes. Apologise for that. Just make sure that people get online as they realise that we're going live at this time of day. I did say we were going live earlier, but we'll see how we get on this afternoon. Celtic, Martin O'Neill got shut. I'm late a couple of minutes. Martin O'Neill has been speaking to the press this afternoon. We're going to listen to that. Before we listen to Martin O'Neill, I'm going to listen to Talk a Lot, Alistair Johnston. Yeah, going to listen to Alistair Johnston because I think Alistair Johnston is a fantastic guy, and he is a guy that ultimately likes to talk about a lot about Celtic. He was asked this question. Wait till I just make sure that the volume for it is right up.
How would you describe the season as a whole?
I've been trying to call it like 4 seasons in one. It's been the longest and shortest season all at the same time in terms of there's been so many different storylines and things that have happened. But for me on a personal level, it's also been a really short season because I barely played. I've been injured for so long. So it's been a really just a strange season. But at the same time is that, we're coming into this now, the final week with a chance to, if you win both matches, you can leave here with 2 trophies. And that's something that, didn't always look potentially possible a couple of months back, but the lads have dug in, found a way to dig out results, especially here in this last month. And we've really been treating every single match like a cup final. We've known that if we drop points at any point, we're probably going to take ourselves out of it. So it's been amazing just to see the resilience in the group, just to find a way to get results.
Quite a furore after the penalty call during the week. What did you make of it?
Honestly, I didn't really see it. I was on the bench at that point. We couldn't really tell what happened, if Trusty had gotten hit. It's just kind of an awkward coming together. Obviously, then when he goes over to VAR, you're not 100% sure what was the call. I saw it after. It's one of those ones that, yeah, if it's happening against you, are you thrilled? No, but at the same time, hand is in kind of a weird spot. You leave it up to interpretation. We're just lucky at the end of the day that, it was on our side for a change. Sometimes through the course of a season, you're going to have VAR calls that go for you. You're going to have ones that go against you. It's just the name of the game. And luckily for us, it went for us. But that being said, Kelechi still had to step up and put it away. And talk about a pressurized situation.
Yep.
He's come through for us now on a couple big occasions in these past couple of weeks. So I was glad I wasn't taking that pen. Let's just say that. And I was really, really happy when I saw it hit the back of the net. And so were all those Celtic fans in the stand behind the goal.
Jesus, I was waiting for him. He does that in one breath, doesn't he? He must be fantastic at swimming. Just, where is he? He's better go in for him. He must be great at swimming. No, it just goes under the water and then just goes, because that just goes in one breath. Anyway, Alistair Johnston, why was he put in front of the media? Obviously, they were going to ask him the question, should you have been sent off? He thinks that he's Kelechi's balls of steel. It reminds me of a Channel 4 programme called The Balls of Steel. It was one of the best comedy put together in a long time. But anyway, getting back to Celtic, Alistair Johnston, he ultimately says that he was lucky not to be sent off in that game. Who cares? It's over and done with. We find ourselves in a position where we win, like Alistair Johnston says, we win the next 2 games, we win 2 trophies. It's as simple as that. It's a season that he sees it as it's 4 seasons in one. When you look at Brendan Rodgers, Martin O'Neill, Wilfred Nancy, and then Martin O'Neill again. You can understand from his perspective, and he's not played a big part of it. You can understand why it's been like 4 seasons in one. Now, Celtic have put out a statement this afternoon. Martin O'Neill alluded to it. I am going to read it out. I don't know if you've saw the statement or not, but the statement as follows. Everyone at Celtic, I'll just move that up slightly so we can just get the full statement in. Everyone at Celtic is looking ahead to an exciting weekend where we aim to do all we can to bring our fans success again. It has been an eventful season, and we welcome Heart of Midlothian to an occasion where both sets of players will be doing all they can to lift the Premiership title. We understand the level of excitement from the fans, and as ever, Our priority will be to ensure that all fans have a safe experience right across the weekend. In these circumstances, we want to be very clear that only those supporters with valid season tickets and match tickets should visit Celtic Park. We are expected to sell out 60,000 capacity crowd in the stadium, and it's hugely important from a safety perspective that people without tickets do not come to the area. The difficulties which are caused by added volume of people can be hugely problematic for our supporters. With tickets, our smooth matchday operation. In addition, we must ask those with tickets to ensure they arrive at the stadium as early as possible. Again, the later arrival of fans is problematic in terms of achieving smooth entry to the stadium. We fully respect the challenge that faces us on Saturday, and we are facing a Hearts team that has led the way for some time. In order for us to be successful, we will need to be at our very best. However, if we are fortunate enough to be successful on Saturday, we would ask our supporters to be mindful of the challenges which have faced Glasgow City Centre previously. Celtic has met in recent weeks with Glasgow City Council. We understand that the pressure placed on the city in such occasion is immense. We know there have been circumstances in the past which have proved difficult for the local community in terms of movement, obstruction, impact on emergency services. Glasgow City Council is committed to working together with the football club on facilitating potential celebrations which would be meaningful to the fans and less impactful to the communities. Unless these options can be delivered, we need to play a role in trying to relieve some of the pressures. We are aware that some of the issues that have arisen, many which have led to serious safety concerns. Importantly, this Sunday, May the 17th, Glasgow will always host a cancer research 10k Race for Life charity event which requires significant planning from the city. If successful on Saturday, we would absolutely want our fans to enjoy their own celebrations, but given the events and the wider logistics, we would therefore discourage supporters from attending gatherings in the city centre this weekend. There is no safety management in place which has a high impact on the city. How many times have they said the city in this one? The pressure which placed on the city and its services will be enormous. We want to do all we can to support the city. Fuck me. I should go bing, bing, bing every time we say city. Celtic manager Martin knows how difficult Saturday will be, and he will be doing all he can to deliver for our fans. But he echoed the call for our supporters to be safe and understanding of these concerns. Martin O'Neill said, it goes without saying that if we are successful, we will be looking forward to enjoying it. But it's also important that we do so safely and responsibly. We want our fans to be safe and ensure that we are mindful of others and our wider community. Our fans have such a great reputation for positively supporting the team. And if we do achieve what we want at the weekend, we want that positive support to shine through again. Whatever the outcome on Saturday, everyone at the club thanks the fans for a wonderful continuing support. Celtic Football Club has never been able to have an open-top bus parade through the city. Celtic fans at one point weren't able to wear their colours in the city. I grew up through a time where you never wore your colours in the city or any other city because of sectarianism. Glasgow City Council and the club need to have some kind of arrangement. Hearts have made plans this weekend. Hearts have made plans with the city of Edinburgh to have an open top bus parade if they win the league this weekend. Celtic and our fans should never be mastered and will not be mastered. Will people go to the Tron Gate? I don't think I said it this morning. Bus conveners will have a hard enough job. It's not been planned for. It's not been expected. Bus conveners will be like, "Nah, we need to get back. The bus needs to get back. It's not planned for. Buses will go back." People that live in the city should be allowed to do what they want in the city. But this, once again, is making sure that Celtic and their fan base have to be obedient. For the thousands of fans around the world that this club milks, for the thousands of fans that this club calls upon to buy its merchandise, it should be a time of togetherness. Yes, people will want to come to the stadium. Why shouldn't they want to come to the stadium to see Martin O'Neill and the team outside the stadium with the trophy if we win it this weekend? We're the only club in the world that does not get to celebrate our success. And let's not kid each other on here. Let's not kid each other on that it's safety concerns. Martin O'Neill even says in his interview, I'm going to listen to Martin O'Neill and I'm going to listen to him talking about his future first. And then I'm going to come back to Martin O'Neill and what he really thinks is going on in the wider city and around the UK.
And I'm doing. And, but yeah, it gives me, I mean, when I left here in 2005, I didn't come back and become the manager in 2007 or 2009. To wait 20 odd years to do that. So I should enjoy it a bit more than I'm doing.
Just in the last few hours, the club released a statement to fans just about if they...
Who cares about that? Who cares about that? Let's get back to the bit. Where he basically says that I'm not going to go back to it now. Martin O'Neill basically said that he knows that he uses it as motivation himself. He knows that everyone out there wants Celtic to lose. This is nothing new to Martin O'Neill. He endured it as a manager the first time round. They didn't want him to win then. They definitely do not want an Irish Catholic to be successful in Scotland once again, do they? Call it out for what it is, Martin. Just saying we know that everyone out there doesn't want us to win. I'm sick of this bending over backwards for a predominantly Protestant country that thinks that they can just condemn and silence Celtic and their supporters. And it's no wonder that people leave the bloody country. Anyway, in other Celtic news, let's jump into some of the comments first. Together, the team and the manager and the board are nothing but police Scotland's bollockers, says Paul Baird. You always put it so poetically, Paul. You always put it so poetically, and it's very true. Let's get your points of view on this one. The board are up police Scotland's arses, says Paul again. This is our city. Our colours don't run. It is, isn't it? What's the deal with the ref under... it's not the ref under police protection. Actually, there is... let me just get it. Now, this is a shocking development, which... was it the ref? Let me just see. Was it this one? This one. Now, the Motherwell referee, John Beaton, and his family had to spend last night under police surveillance after details were posted online. The SFA have very strongly condemned the knee-jerk and hysterical narrative surrounding the Celtic penalty award. Now, you've got to remember that Beaton drinks in a Rangers pub. He is a member of the Lodge. They are turning on their own. Listen, we know that this kind of shit happens anyway. They turn on their own. Look at when they celebrated winning that title, that one-off year. I mean, they started fighting each other in the centre of the city and demolished George Square, fighting themselves. I mean, the videos were phenomenal. I think it's disgraceful that they have posted his personal details online. I think it's way out of order, and that's the reality of Scottish society for you. You know, the unveiled bigoted sectarianism that is there, and they have no qualms on turning on their own. Just, I'm going to call it as it is, and that's what it is. Let's jump back into your comments about. Hope says, I'm not sugarcoating it. Fucking battle them, Celtic. Derek's a prick and a bigot. Singing songs. Let the real people sing against Britain. Hell, says Pope Leo. Success is only allowed to be celebrated in this country if you're of a blue persuasion. It's always been that way. It has been. Don't know. And amen to the Pope. City bans orange what? Yeah. Don't know. You never hear of orange. I'm not going down the tit for tat route on this. Don't know. It's we know that they do not get banned. They'll say, well, Catholic marches don't get banned. When you're looking at the football club, do you know these small marches can be policed quite well, but when it comes to the facts that we're coming together, because they know when Celtic fans come together, they're a force to be reckoned with, and that's what they do not want. They love the fact that we've been so disjointed and broken and against each other all season. I'll be gutted if Hearts wins. If Hearts win, but I'll take it. Rangers won't. So that's all good, says Michelle. I can assure you that Irish won't bend the knee. This is very true. Neither do I, because I got out of the country. Too far now when they bring people's families and private lives into it. Who've went too far. Like it's happened before with Celtic managers. We all know that Neil Lennon had bullets and bombs threats. Do you know, he had bullets posted through his door, sent to him. It's poof. Yeah, and that lot stabbing each other. Anyway, Orange watched the Volden ended up in fisticuffs. It's hilarious. Well, let's jump to the end of the comments. Baz Beaton has only given us 9 penalties in 14 years. Well, there you go. Quarter of the country, assuming that Edinburgh Huns had won, now all shaking in their boots because Paradise is going to be a fortress on a Saturday. If you want to blame Beaton for anything, says Michelle, and cause an uproar, go and complain about train prices to ScotRail. Let this be the fire in our belly, boys. Hi. Let us be the fire in our bellies and get it over the line and make it hell for McInnes. That's disgusting. It is that. Now, I'm fully supportive of Celtic. No. Has she? Yeah, no, she has. Yes, she has. Yeah, before I took it up. I'm fully supportive of the Celtic fans being in fine voice and not letting any agenda dampen the spirits for the game this weekend. When you look at what is on the line for the club, when you look at what's on the line, not just for the club, but for the fans, you've got to say behaviour like posting. Do you know what they've done? The referee for the game this weekend had to get. You're not listening, are you? No, you're no. Anyway, let's listen to Sky's version of the whole beaten scenario.
From Scotland, regarding the fallout of Celtic's controversial late penalty at Motherwell on Wednesday night. It led to them winning the game by 3-2. Referee John Beaton, who was in charge at Fir Park, spent last night at home under police surveillance alongside his family. It follows a leak of his personal details online. Scottish FA have said this: John Beaton and his family spent last night at home under police surveillance following a leak of personal details online. The Scottish FA condemns in the strongest possible terms attempts to compromise the safety of match officials. Such vigilantism, motivated by decisions perceived to be right or wrong on a field of play, is a scourge on our national game, and we are grateful to Police Scotland for their swift intervention. From Scotland, regarding the fallout of Celtic's controversial late penalty at Motherwell on Wednesday night. It led to them winning the game by 3-2. Referee John Beaton, who was in charge at Fir Park, spent last night at home under police surveillance alongside his family. It follows a leak of his personal details online. Scottish FA have said this: John Beaton and his family spent last night at home under police surveillance following a leak of personal details online. The Scottish FA condemns in the strongest possible terms attempts to compromise the safety of match officials.
That's absolutely terrible. And it's not just terrible, it's disgusting. Don't know. It is disgusting. But anyway, what do you expect in Scotland? Do you expect anything less? I think I know the answer to that one. And a lot of people will have their own thoughts with it. And let's get to some other Celtic news, because Martin O'Neill said that it's reasonably to suggest that this will be his last game at Celtic Park. Now, we all knew that this day was coming. Martin O'Neill won't say that it is. You know, he spoke about the fact that he wasn't asked to come back in 2007. He wasn't asked to come back in 2009. It's took him over 20 years to be asked back, so he should be enjoying it a little bit more. But you can see the sadness sort of in his face. Sky Sports should be sacking Boyd and any other pundit they pay after they whipped up false narrative, so other mainstream media went along with it too. That's bang on, by the way, Gordon. That is bang on. It will be under... I never even thought of that. Because it's people like Chris Boyd that have tried to control the narrative, isn't it? Anyway, I'm pretty shocked at that, to be honest. You know, the whole VAR fallout has been ridiculous as it is. We shouldn't even be talking about that on the eve of the greatest football match in Scotland in over 15 years. Don't know. I think it's possibly the greatest football match in Scotland in over 15 years, maybe even longer. Don't know. Whoever wins the title will win it on merit. Martin O'Neill says that should Cloystey be sacked? There's another one. Yeah, should these people need to call them out? John Robertson to replace Boyd. Sky Sports, great banter. Boyd and McCoist are responsible. It's true though. Do you know, it's people like them, we know their agenda. We know that, you know, especially McCoist, he came from the team that did 9 in a row from that lot. We know the way that he feels about Celtic. Boydie, we know the way that he feels about Celtic. When it comes down to personal stuff like that, they have to take some responsibility. When you're in the public eye, you know, and when it's okay saying something as a one-off flippant comment, but when you're on TV shows and if you're on radio shows and you're on podcasts and you're really pushing this narrative, and there's a lot of crazy folk out there. Do you know what I mean? Sky has deemed Boyd a security risk and will not be at the. That is surely not. Boydie wouldn't be at the game anyway. He's never been at Celtic Park when we've won the league. And Paul Hartley is a turncoat, but he's not a turncoat because he was always a jambo. He only played for Celtic. Anyway, let's change the narrative of it completely. We're going to the game tomorrow. Martin O'Neill was asked about players, and he was asked in the final second of the interview, the 9-minute interview today. He was asked about the squad, and he said, "Yeah, the squad is fine." I'm just reading some of the comments as they're coming through. Boyd and McCoy's must have dropped off. No, they've never dropped off. Well, we've known what they were. Boyd and McCoy's turned it into hate. They're in the wrong jobs. They're not really, are they? They just, I think it's Boyd will be there tomorrow. I think no way he'll miss it. I was surprised if he ain't. Let's hope he is. And Charlie Moore gave a good rant. Charlie Mulgrew gave a good rant about the penalty and explained it to the thick ogres. Boyd will be begging for the Falkirk Stadium. McInnes and Boyd and McCoy should be pulled for inciting this shite. I definitely think that McInnes wasn't even there. He shouldn't even be commenting on it. Another manager should not be commenting and on a game that he's not involved in. That just shows you there's no class. No class. Don't be fooled. This is a controlled narrative. It is that if we win by 3 goals and then the penalty doesn't come into it, 4-0 easy. If we win by 1 goal and win the game tomorrow, the penalty doesn't come into it. We win the league. Simple. Martin O'Neill says that do you know, it came down to this. Celtic have pulled themselves back into it. Celtic thought that maybe Hearts would drop points. He thought they would maybe drop points and they'd be out of it altogether. The fact that Celtic have had to put out a statement and tell fans not to celebrate, Celtic weren't really expecting to be in this position. Well, let's be perfectly honest. I don't know. But then again, it does come down to the fact that you're not allowed to celebrate anything Celtic win. We'll have more psychiatrists at the game tomorrow. VAR has been video assisting Rangers cervical. Come on, the hoops. Derek sung songs of hate and is now helping put hate on the referee. Sky News all about Hearts. Yes, I'm not even going to look. I'm not even going to entertain them because we know the narrative of the mainstream media. It hasn't changed. It never will. Anyway, that is me done and dusted for just now. Should I come back on this evening at 8 o'clock for a final Friday night session of the season? I don't usually do Friday nights. We usually go out. I might head out for a little while, but should we come back on later? Let's see if we can get some comments up. If we can come on. Get the Jers lads on again to explain the goal difference. McCloyst is a sleek at bitter. Yes, no wonder Lennon is going to give him battering. This is very true. A couple of people said, do it. Yeah, let's do it, isn't it? We'll come back on. And what we'll do tonight is we'll talk about... I'm going to listen to the very first press conference of the season. And then I'm going to listen to the last press conference of the season. And we'll compare and contrast the two managers. Not that we need to. One's a legend. And the other one's won more than him. It's weird. It is weird. So we'll do that tonight. It's been on the radio. Glasgow City Central asking Celtic supporters not to celebrate. Crazy with the Ask the Rangers 2012 not to celebrate. Yes, exactly. We'll talk about that this evening. And I will be back 8 p.m. Celtic Park time. I shall see you then. We could talk a bit more in depth. We'll be around for about an hour, I think. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll catch you all later. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around. Prepare us all for tomorrow. I think not just mentally, but emotionally, because it's going to be a big day, isn't it? Yeah. See you later on, lads.